Welcome to Silent Betrayal, where shocking stories of love, lies, and betrayal unfold. Get ready for jaw-dropping tales that will make you question everything. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the truth is about to be revealed. Now, dive into today's story. Emma Winters, a 28-year-old marketing executive, had always believed in the idea of a perfect relationship. She and her boyfriend, Daniel Harris, a 30-year-old software developer, seemed like the ultimate couple. They had been living together for over 3 years in a beautiful downtown apartment, both successful in their respective careers. Emma worked at a high-powered advertising agency, while Daniel had a flexible job working remotely for a promising tech startup. To the outside world, their life together was the epitome of modern-day success. But beneath the surface, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Emma had started noticing small signs that Daniel wasn't quite the man she thought he was. At first, she dismissed her doubts. Late-night work calls, unexplained absences, and a shift in his tone. But when she casually mentioned her suspicions to Olivia Carter, her best friend and confidant, Emma began to feel an unsettling sense of unease. Olivia was the one person Emma could always count on, and she wasn't blind to the signs. "You deserve better," Olivia would often say, but Emma didn't want to listen. She loved Daniel. The cracks started to show more clearly when Emma found herself receiving late-night messages and phone calls from her ex-colleague asking for advice or even simple chat sessions to unwind. Daniel was distant, never responding to her inquiries about what he was doing or who he was with. He grew defensive and irritated when she brought up the topic of their relationship, which only fueled her anxiety. She trusted him, but now doubt had started to worm its way into her heart. Emma's heart ached as she pondered over the possibility that Daniel wasn't the man he seemed to be. The warm, loving guy she had fallen for now appeared as a stranger. But it wasn't until that fateful night, when Daniel went out for what he claimed was a work meeting, that Emma's suspicions turned into a harsh, undeniable reality. As Daniel stepped out that night, Emma's heart raced. Her mind, filled with unease, pushed her to do something she would never have considered before. She decided to check his phone. Maybe it was an invasion of privacy, but the overwhelming urge to uncover the truth was too much to ignore. She justified it to herself, telling herself that if Daniel had nothing to hide, he wouldn't mind. But as she scrolled through his text messages, she felt a knot form in her stomach. There it was, proof of what she had been dreading. Hidden among messages from his friends and colleagues were intimate texts and photos between Daniel and a woman named Sarah. Her stomach lurched as she read through their conversations, covert plans to meet, flirtatious banter, and explicit pictures. Emma's hands shook, and her heart sank. For months, Daniel had been seeing someone else behind her back. The anger came first, a cold rush of fury that bubbled up to her throat. Then came the heartbreak, the crushing realization that everything she believed in had been a lie. It wasn't just a one-time slip-up. It was an affair that had been going on for months. But she wasn't ready to confront him yet, not until she had proof. Emma's emotions swirled in confusion, but one thing was clear. She had to do something. She tried to call Daniel, but he ignored her calls, leaving her feeling abandoned and helpless. Her hands trembling, Dama sent him a text. "I know about Sarah. Don't even try to deny it." The coldness of the text reflected the emptiness she felt inside. His response was swift and dismissive. "You're overreacting. There's nothing going on." Emma was in shock. How could he be so calm, so casual about betraying her trust? With the truth staring her in the face, Emma realized she couldn't sit in silence any longer. She wasn't going to let Daniel get away with it. It was time for him to face the consequences of his actions. At first, Emma wasn't sure what to do next. She spent hours staring at her phone, processing the pain, confusion, and betrayal. But as the rage inside her built, so did her resolve to take action. She wanted Daniel to feel the same hurt she was experiencing. She wanted him to know that there were consequences for his actions. That's when Olivia suggested a drastic idea: expose him, make him feel the weight of his lies. At first, Emma hesitated. Could she really do that? Could she publicly shame him, even though it would hurt her too? But deep down, she knew it was the only way to make him pay. Social media was the modern-day stage for truth. It was immediate, vast, and had the power to reach people beyond the circles of their immediate lives. Emma could no longer keep the pain inside. She gathered all the evidence, screenshots of texts, photos, and even a video of Daniel and Sarah together at a restaurant. She had everything she needed to expose him. After a long moment of hesitation, she posted everything on her Instagram and Facebook accounts. She included a heartfelt message about the betrayal, the pain, and how she had been living a lie. The post went viral. Within minutes, her inbox flooded with messages of support from her friends and family. Some even offered advice on what to do next. But not everyone was supportive. Some people questioned her decision to air her private life for the world to see. "This is childish," one comment read. "Revenge is never the answer." But Emma didn't care. She was angry. She wanted the world to know what Daniel had done to her, and she wanted him to feel the same pain she felt. Emma wasn't prepared for the fallout that followed. The moment she hit post, everything spiraled out of control. Daniel's friends and family came to his defense, accusing Emma of being vindictive and petty. They were all too quick to forgive Daniel and blame Emma for the public drama. Her post was shared across multiple groups, and before long, Emma was being called all sorts of hurtful things online. She was labeled as crazy and needy, her character assaulted by strangers who didn't know the full story. But the most shocking reaction came from Daniel. He stormed into their apartment that evening, his face twisted in rage. "You ruined me!" he yelled. "Do you have any idea what this is going to cost me?" Emma tried to stay calm, but inside, she felt a deep pang of regret. She had wanted to hurt him, but she hadn't anticipated just how far this would go. He threatened to sue her for defamation, to expose her as a jealous, scorned woman who was only seeking attention. He made it clear that their relationship was over, and now he wanted revenge. As Emma sat in the aftermath of the chaos, she realized how much she had underestimated the power of social media. What started as a means of exposing Daniel's lies had turned into a wildfire she couldn't control. The damage was done, and now the entire world knew about her pain. Things only escalated from there. Emma's colleagues at work started hearing about the drama, and it didn't take long for her boss to summon her into his office. "This is bad for the company," he said sternly. "We need to talk about the fallout from your personal life affecting the brand." Emma was devastated. She had worked so hard to get where she was, but now her career was on the line, all because of a moment of anger. Meanwhile, Daniel's life also unraveled. His business partners called him in for meetings, questioning his professionalism and the impact of the scandal on their reputation. The pressure mounted, and Daniel began to crack. He stopped replying to Emma's messages, and his friends distanced themselves from him. He couldn't handle the heat, and neither could Emma. Olivia, who had been Emma's biggest support, started pulling away as well. "This isn't you, Em," Olivia said one day. "You're better than this. You need to take control of the situation." Emma was torn. She wanted Olivia's support, but Olivia couldn't bear the fallout anymore. Emma was sinking fast, drowning in a sea of regret, anger, and lost hope. What had started as a desire to make Daniel feel her pain had now turned into a lesson in how quickly things could spiral out of control. She had to face the consequences of her actions, no matter how difficult they were. As the situation continued to spiral, Emma started receiving anonymous messages from people who claimed to know even more about Daniel's past. One message came from a woman named Anna, who revealed she had been in a similar relationship with Daniel years ago. She shared details of his past affairs, painting a picture of a man who had been deceiving women for years. Emma was stunned. If only she had known then what she knew now. She wondered, did Daniel really love her, or had she been just another conquest in a long string of lies? It was at that moment that Emma realized the full scope of her actions. Yes, she had exposed Daniel's affair, but in doing so, she had exposed herself. The pain was mutual. The wreckage wasn't just his. It was hers too. Emma had built her life around the illusion of Daniel's love, and now that it was gone, she felt unmoored, lost in a sea of uncertainty. But she couldn't let herself sink. She had to find a way to rebuild. Not for Daniel, not for anyone else, but for herself. The days that followed were filled with self-reflection. Emma began to see that while her pain was valid, her reaction had created collateral damage she couldn't ignore. Her boss placed her on probation. Her online reputation was tarnished, and even Olivia, her closest ally, had distanced herself. It was time to face the consequences and take responsibility for her role in this chaos. Emma decided to meet Daniel one last time, not to argue, not to fight, but to close the chapter. They met at a small cafe, the atmosphere tense and heavy with unspoken words. Daniel looked worn out, his confident demeanor replaced by a shadow of guilt and regret. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," he admitted. "You burned everything to the ground." Emma took a deep breath, steadying herself. "I didn't do this to destroy you, Daniel. I did it because I needed the truth to come out. But I see now that the way I handled it wasn't right either. We both hurt each other, and we both have to live with that." It wasn't an apology, nor was it forgiveness. It was closure, plain and simple. Emma walked out of the cafe that day, determined to leave the pain behind and focus on healing. In the weeks that followed, Emma started rebuilding her life, one step at a time. She sought therapy to help process the betrayal and the aftermath of her actions. She reconnected with Olivia, who offered her tough love but also unwavering support. Emma's boss eventually allowed her to resume her projects, though it came with a stern reminder to keep her personal life off social media. Emma also took a break from social platforms, using the time to focus on her hobbies and interests that she had neglected during her relationship. She started painting again, something she hadn't done since college, and even joined a local art club where she met new friends. Slowly but surely, Emma rediscovered herself. Her experience with Daniel taught her a valuable lesson. Revenge, no matter how justified it feels in the moment, rarely brings peace. Instead, it often leaves more pain and destruction in its wake. Moving forward, Emma vowed to handle challenges with grace and thoughtfulness, knowing that her strength lay not in tearing others down, but in lifting herself up. Thank you for staying with me through this emotional roller coaster of a story. It's a powerful reminder that betrayal can shatter us, but it doesn't have to define us. Emma's journey shows that while exposing the truth can bring clarity, it's how we choose to move forward that truly matters. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Let us know if you've faced similar challenges and how you overcame them. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more captivating stories about love, betrayal, and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.